doing what?
I know. Okay, we're going live.
Cynthia, can you put the agenda in the chat if you have it?
Just a minute.
Good morning.
Talk to me behind the scenes.
Good afternoon. Good evening. No matter what time zone you happen to be in, welcome to Leaders Worldwide Advanced Club. I am Isaac Ford, the Sergeant at Arms. And if you are a role player tonight, please put that in front of your name. The club mission is we provide a positive and learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Core values, integrity, respect, service, and excellence. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce the founding president of Leaders Worldwide, Cynthia Stott. Cynthia, you have the podium.
Ray, thank you so much. Woo! We have an amazing meeting plan. We have 5 speakers, 5 evaluators, and we've kind of juggled them around, but we're ready to go. So excited to be here. And let's see, do we have any guests tonight? Well, we have Raghu. Yay, Raghu came. And Raghu, would you like to introduce yourself as a guest?
Good morning, good evening.
Good morning.
Good morning, good evening, everyone. My name is Raghunatha Raju. Because it is a short table topic in itself, you can call me Raghu. I'm joining today from Hyderabad, the city of pearls in India. I'm excited to be part of this meeting and delivering my speech. Thank you, Cynthia, for inviting me.
Thank you, thank you. And I understand Hyderabad has the best biryani in all of India.
Of course, of course.
I can't wait to go and taste it. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So without further ado, I'm going to turn this over to our Toastmaster of the day, who is none other than Dee Marie Shy King. Dee Marie, take it away.
So hello, everyone, and welcome to Leaders Worldwide. Our meeting today has a theme of how to create your own luck. Now that's intriguing in and of itself. What that says is you play a large part in the kind of luck that you end up claiming. And we'll talk about that as we go through the evening. But before I get started, I would like to introduce the functionaries that are going to be assisting us with this meeting tonight. And the first person that will introduce himself will be herself, grammarian. And that person is Sally Reyes. Sally, introduce yourself and tell us what your role consists of, please.
Okay, thank you. I am Sally Reyes, your grammarian and in charge of word of the day. And as a grammarian, I listen very carefully to your speech and I count the O's and the ums and the ahs and the ands, the filler words which detract from your speech. And when you realize how many of these words you use as pause, it's better to find a pause than those silly words that don't mean anything. So it's kind of fun and to see the crispness that happens when you realize how many words you really don't need to use and how much more time you have. The other thing is the word of the day is opportunity. And I live on opportunities. I think there's marvelous things out there. And I think it's a set of circumstances that make it possible to do something different. So please take those opportunities, watch them, because when somebody tips over a cart, you may have an opportunity to share picking them up or something wonderful will happen. Thank you. Good luck on your speech, your observations, and your use of the word of the day opportunity. Thank you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much for that opportunity, Sally. I think you're going to wear that word out before the evening is over, okay? But it will give us an opportunity to pass on some very pertinent information as we move through the evening. Our next functionary is the timer, and that is Taze McLeod, and he will introduce himself and tell you what he does and explain the colors to you. Taze.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good night, good evening, wherever you are. I will be the timer for this meeting. I will be recording the times for various speakers and various role players in this meeting. One of my responsibilities, or the major part of my responsibilities, would involve me showing various colors of cards. The green card represents you're okay. In the prepared speaking segment, this represents that you've made 5 minutes, 5-minute mark. The yellow card indicates that you have made 6 minutes. And the red card indicates that you have made 7 minutes and you will have 30 seconds to wrap up. When your 30 seconds is up, if you see this card, it means stop talking and come off the virtual stage. Back to you, General Evaluator, Toastmaster of the meeting.
Thank you, Taze. That was good because I am assuming both roles tonight. I am taking over the role as the general evaluator, as well as the Toastmaster of the day. And at this moment, I would be asking for the general evaluator to explain their role. And what I will tell you is, as general evaluator, I will be paying close attention to the entire meeting, such as things like, did we start on time? And by God's grace, we did. We started exactly at 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock my time. I'm sorry, 8 o'clock my time. But we did start on time, and then I will be able to give an overall evaluation of the meeting at the end of this session. And I want everyone to be mindful of the word of the day, which is opportunity. But now that we've had the functionary roles introduced, we will start with our first speaker, and our first evaluator will introduce the speaker and the pathway from which that person is speaking. And Raju, you will be introducing Alpana.
Show he's here, but he's not responding.
Can you hear us, Raghu? Raghu,
Is it for me?
Yes. It is now time for you to, as the evaluator for Alpana, to introduce her speech and the particulars that go along with the speech. You don't have that?
No, I don't have any information. Am I evaluating today?
Yes, you're evaluating Alpana.
I don't have the details.
I will be glad to read the information for you and we'll get that to you, okay?
Sure.
Thank you. So Alpana's speech is Leadership Development, Level 1, and it's the third project, an introduction to vocal variety and body language. And her introduction is, Alpana empowers women to use their purpose-driven abilities and inner goddess and attract their dream. She attracts her dream clients through doing that. So she works with women to develop themselves. And her speech today is entitled Move Forward and Achieve Your Goals. Open the iris. Move forward and achieve your goals. Open the iris. The floor is yours.
Thank you for the introduction. Jaldi chalo, jaldi chalo. I felt these hands pushing me as I stood frozen on top of the mountaintop of the world, the Himalayas. Panic was setting in as a blizzard was rolling in, and what we could see in front of us was a whiteout. It actually looked beautiful and soft and quiet. But we needed to hurry up to cross the mountain so we would not perish. As the panic was setting in, and as I stood there frozen, I looked down at my shoes. I was wearing plastic bags in my non-waterproof shoes, which was the best that we could do back then in India. But I stood there quietly. All I cared about was making the image of the beauty in front of me. It may have been in that moment that I found my true calling for my love of photography. And just to take you back, I was on this trip in the Himalayas at age 16 or 17 with my younger brother, and not for the reasons you might think. My father wanted us to go on that trip, not because I loved hiking. For me, he wanted it to be a life growth experience. But for me, it was about my love of photography, as I had just started a photography program at the art school I was at. Have you ever climbed a mountain, pushing aside the fears to find your calling? Now, I don't mean climbing a mountain literally or doing something as crazy as me, but to seize the opportunity and to bring your vision to life. Think about a goal that you've badly wanted, of something that you really wanted to do. But did fear get in the way of you wanting to do that thing that you badly wanted to do? I've seen this with my clients. They often hold themselves back because of their fears. And these can be two types of fears: internal fears or external fears. Now let's talk about internal fears for a minute. These are fears that live deep inside us. Those are the ones that make us scared of showing up truly as ourselves, because we are afraid of the unknown. We're afraid of whatever there is to come. Now, I've seen this, for example, with some clients that may stop themselves from investing in themselves. For example, as a brand photographer, I've had clients that have not wanted to invest in headshots because they're waiting till they lose an X amount of weight, or the moment is right, or maybe because they don't want to spend that kind of money because they don't think they're worth it. Now, there can be so many different reasons to have these internal fears. We may be afraid of rejection on a sales call and not make an offer because somebody might think you're too salesy. So our internal fears are deeply rooted in our own beliefs and self-perceptions. So how we think of ourselves. But the good news is we can change them if we can tap into ourselves and find out who we really are. Now, the second reason is external fears. These live outside us, and we are influenced by what society thinks of us, or our friends or family, or anybody else who are seeking validation from. There's that fear of rejection, and it might stop us from speaking our mind because what would people think, right? So I want to take you back for a minute to that young girl who stood on top of the mountain, afraid but determined not to give up on her vision. I want you to think of you being in that situation where you have your goals and dreams and you really want to go for them, and you know that if you don't step into them now, you're never going to do it. So here's a phrase I want you to keep in mind. Jaldi chalo, which means hurry up, hurry up. And every time you think of quitting on yourself or not doing the thing that you've dreamed of doing, I want you to think of those words, jaldi chalo, and seize that opportunity and overcome your fear or step into your fear so that the dream that you have dreamed of will be yours. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Alpana. So, Mr. Timer, would you give us 1 minute on the clock, please, so that her evaluator can make some notes toward his evaluation process? Thank you. Let us know when the minute is up.
One minute is up.
Thank you so much for that, Mr. Timer. Our next evaluator is Alex, and he will be introducing Isaac's speech and pathway. Alex Balish.
Hello. I have the pleasure of evaluating Isaac, and it is, of course, I had it right in front of me. I am sorry, folks. couldn't find it there for a second. Now I have persuasive influence. Number 3, level 3, section 12, inspire your audience. Present a speech on a topic which intends to inspire the audience.
Okay, thank you. Every day, I would see her walking by my house, Mrs. Allen. She was like the neighborhood celebrity. Everybody knew her name. Everywhere I go, I would see her walking. Raise your hand if you know who Venus Williams is. Seems like a lot of people do. Well, that's who Mrs. Allen would remind you of, except she was in her 50s. I was 25 years old. I couldn't even get out of bed. I had to roll out of bed because my body was always in pain. So one morning, my wife said, honey, I need to lose a little weight. Would you come with me to Weight Watchers for moral support? Now you got to understand, JoJo is a singer. She has big brown eyes like Diana Ross and a body like Tina Turner. Simply the best. Thinking, I got to be careful how I answer this question because I want to stay married. What would you say? I said, yes, dear. When we got the Weight Watchers, this little blonde drill sergeant said, welcome to Weight Watchers. My name is Shar, and the first thing I need you to do is weigh yourself. Who wants to go first? It was about 25 people in the class, and they were all looking at each other as if to say, I'm not going first. You go first. Oh, you go first. I said, I'll go. I'm just here to support my wife, JoJo. So I stepped on that scale. JoJo's eyes told me everything I needed to know. They said, I tricked you. So Shar said, there's going to be 3 things you need to do to lose weight. Keep a food journal, change your diet, and exercise. Now, I had one big problem with Weight Watchers. What do you think that was? They were next door to Hometown Buffet. But I got with the program. The next week, I was driving home. I had to pull to the side of the road. I thought I was having a heart attack. Eventually, I calmed down, but that let me know I needed to get serious about losing weight. At first, I could only go 10 minutes without getting completely exhausted. But then I thought about Mrs. Allen. And if she can do it, I can do it. Come on, Isaac, keep going. So I kept going. And soon I got up to 30 minutes a day. And I started feeling pretty good. Eventually, I would get up an hour early to go walking before I got to work. And when I got to work, what do you think I did on my lunch break? You got it. I went walking. I had become a walkologist. I would walk everywhere. I'd be on my lunch break just going, just getting it. Hometown Buffet? Isaac, don't walk by me like you don't know me. come on over here and get some of that good old peach cobbler cooked just the way you like it. Old Town Buffet, not today. And I would just keep it moving, keep it moving. That was over 40 years ago. Today, I'm retired. I will be 70, my next birthday, and I have managed to keep those 39 pounds off all these years. I no longer have the backaches, and I still walk all over my neighborhood daily. Recently, I got stopped by a policeman. I'm thinking, why is he stopping me? What did I do wrong? I couldn't figure it out. So he gets out his car and he gets about 2 feet from me and he's looking me dead in my eyes. And he said, "Thank you. I just want to thank you. Because of you, I have lost 10 pounds. I see you walking every day. And I thought, if you can do it, I can do it." Unbeknownst to me, I had become his Mrs. Allen. If you want to lose weight or feel healthier or just feel great, start walking. Now, I never got a chance to thank Mrs. Allen for all the motivation and inspiration she gave me. But I'd like to leave you with 3 statements. If Mrs. Allen can do it, you can do it. If Officer Friendly can do it, you can do it. And if I can do it, you can do it. So I hope I've inspired you the way Mrs. Allen inspired me to start walking. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so much for that inspiring speech. Can we have 1 minute on the timer, on the clock, Mr. Timer, and let us know when that minute is up for the evaluator, please?
Is up.
Thank you, Mr. Timer. So I did mention that throughout the meeting, I would be giving you tidbits and little bits of information about how you make your own luck. And the first thing I want to share with you is, do not believe in superstitions. I know you've heard that old thing about you can have bad luck if you do this. If a black cat crosses your trail, that's bad luck. Do not believe in superstitions. You make good things happen when you have a positive mindset, and that you do that by not believing in superstitions. So what I would like you to do at this moment, Mr. Timer, is to explain the evaluation timing, and we'll hear from our first evaluator. Explain the timing process for the evaluators. Thank you.
Yes, I will. For the evaluators, when you arrive at the 2-minute mark, you will see the green card. When you arrive at 2 minutes, 30 seconds, you will see the yellow card. And when you make it to the 3rd minute, you will see the red card and you will have 30 seconds to wrap things up. Back to you, Toastmaster Demeter.
Thank you, Mr. Timer. And our first evaluator is Raghu, and he will evaluate Alpina's speech. Thank you.
Toastmaster, I need a couple of minutes. I'm driving. Can you put to the second evaluator for now?
He's asking if the second evaluator can go first.
Oh,
'cause he's
absolutely.
driving.
Alex said that's fine. Thank you. Yes, then we'll hear from Alex, okay? And he's going to be evaluating Isaac's speech. So Alex, you have the floor.
Okay, thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Well, Isaac, I've had the pleasure of hearing this speech several times, and I know you've taken the opportunity many times to teach us on walking. So I think you did an excellent job. So I'm going to nitpick a little because I can. It's my one time that in my life somebody's going to listen to me because I'm with 2 women, with my daughter and my wife. The first thing is you have great sense of eye contact and you move very well. Your vocal variety by talking with different types of voices is excellent. And you use your body by driving, by walking, everything else. But that being said, I think you could use your space a little bit more. I'm in the same position that you are. I like to move. And when you're in your Zoom, maybe you want to practice seeing how far you can actually move side to side. Because I think you might find you might enjoy that. And I like as an audience participant, if you're moving around, I think that makes it that much more, especially with the speech that you're giving. So as a challenge to you, I think you would really want to take that opportunity to try to move around. I know you had some pauses that you had. I'll have pauses, and I know you've speech many times, but we all think on the fly, and I had done that too. And I'm always struggling with that too. And the only reason I'm bringing that up is because I know this is your baby. This is your baby speech. You know, you've been doing this since I've been in Toastmasters. So in conclusion, I really think that overall it's a great speech. And I think that with just a little tweaking, you may find that you might be a little bit more comfortable and have a little bit more success than you thought you already have, if that makes sense. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so much for that evaluation, Alex. And I could see Isaac nodding his head, so he understood part of what you were saying, okay? So at this time, we'll turn the microphone over to Ragoon, if he can speak now. Is this a better time for you?
I can speak now. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster. There's one famous quote by John Martin Luther King Jr. Fly, and if you cannot fly, run. And if you cannot run, walk. And if you cannot run, walk, at least keep crawling. But the essence of life is all about moving forward. And today, our speaker, Alpana, spoke about move forward. Our Jeel about mountaineering and also connecting that with life. Toastmaster Alpana, what a wonderful speech. To talk about what I like in your speech is your confidence. The vocabulary that you use is wonderful. And also your presence, which is enigmatic, and also the smile on your face throughout the speech. Your hand gestures were visible. If I talk about the purpose of the speech was more on
vocal variety, and body language. You are able to show your hand gestures and maintain the eye contact, and also put forward your voice modulation where necessary, especially shouting, move forward, chalte jao, Hindi saying for moving forward. And you also connected that to life now where women have to see themselves and move forward in life. Certainly, even in 21st century, women have a lot to move forward and grow in life, isn't it? That even now, in many parts of the world, they're looked down upon. Even if you look into the CEOs and managing director roles, it is not the opportunity given to them. And you have brought this essence in your speech a lot. So I have to talk about improvement area. Alpana, you are an accomplished speaker, at least from what I see in your speech. What I would expect you next time is to stand up and start using the stage. Though it is a virtual stage, please adjust your camera so that you can stand and use the stage. You have to start using the stage as an accomplished speaker, where you can move throughout the stage and also show your hand gesture better way. Second thing is, I felt your rate of speech was a little faster for me to catch up in certain parts of your speech. You can start working on that by giving effective pauses. With these two improvements, I'm sure that you will be able to take your speech to the next level. I've really enjoyed your speech today, Alpana, and I wish you all the best for your future speaker.
Thank you so much for that evaluation, Lagoon. And I could tell by the way that Alpana was nodding, so she understood what you were saying as well. At this moment, I think we're all due to take a 5-minute break. Mr. Timer, will you put 5 minutes on the clock or let us know when the 5 minutes are up, please? This is time to get your coffee, your tea, or whatever, and we'll see you back in 5 minutes. Thank you.
Wonderful. Everybody enjoy your break. We're doing a great job. And Raghu, thank you so much for coming in and speaking for us and evaluating. That was an excellent evaluation. Yeah. And Alpana really appreciates it. She's got in the chat. Thank you, Raghu. Awesome. Enjoy your break. And Dee Marie, who is speaking after the break? We have Raghu and Lydia, but what order is Raghu first after the break? What's the order? Oh, you're on mute.
Isaac will be introducing Rosemary. We have Rosemary, Raghu, and Lydia.
Oh, we got 3 speakers.
Yes,
okay.
we have 5 altogether. The first 2 have gone. So we have Isaac introducing Rosemary, and then we have Rosemary introducing Raghu, and Rosalind introducing Lydia.
Awesome. Awesome. So Raghu, you're up after Rosemary. Is that okay for you? Are you still driving?
I'm okay. I'm almost home now.
Okay. Okay, great. Phenomenal. And we have Lydia aboard. We're all set. I'm so excited to hear these 3 speeches after the break.
Read a couple of more things about how to make your own luck. One of the ways to do that is to have a narrow focus. That means to prioritize and focus on one thing and not be scattered all out in so many different directions. Doing one thing at a time. If that doesn't work, then you fall back, like you have plan A, plan B, and plan C, but go with plan A or either one of them, but go with one at a time and then fall back to the other if that doesn't work. So prioritizing and focusing helps to improve your chances of luck. And it says to meet with more like-minded people and brainstorm ideas. I know we all know how valuable it is when we meet with people who think similar to us, and we can run ideas by that person and say, what do you think of that? sometimes they will help you to increase your chances at being successful and having what we call good luck. So I will rest my mic and get something to drink.
Before you go, Dee Marie, I'm going to pop out for the night, if that's okay. I know.
Absolutely, Alex. And thank you so much for being flexible and just going with the flow.
Yeah, that's
Excellent
easy.
evaluation, and we thank you so much.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Thank you for
And
the opportunity to spread the luck.
I love that.
I figured you like that.
Awesome.
And let me
All
tell
right.
you this before you go. You know, they say that luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. There is no such thing as luck. You get prepared, and when that opportunity shows up, then you create your own luck. So that's what that is.
You know, it's funny you should say that because that's what's on my LinkedIn. You create your own luck.
Yes,
Create your own luck.
Aw.
that is
So
great. Thank you so much,
this
Alex.
topic is really close to my heart. So you guys have a
Thank
great
you.
day.
Great.
And we'll see you next week.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Alex. Have a good night.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
I'm getting tea. Thank you so much, Alpana. I saw your message in the chat. We appreciate you coming and giving your speech tonight.
Thank
So
you.
thank-
I'll stay for a little while, but I'll drop off early.
And I
5
appreciate
minutes
that.
is up.
Go ahead.
5 minutes is up.
Thank you, Mr. Timer. So at this moment, we will have Isaac to introduce Rosemary's speech. So Isaac, forward.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Rosemary Sweeney is speaking from the Visionary Communication for project number 7. Question and answer session. It's going to be 5 to 7 minutes. She's going to deliver a speech on a topic of which the speaker is particularly knowledgeable about, and effective questions and answer session. The title of her speech, Monsters Can Be Human. Monsters Can Be Human. Rosemary Sweeney.
Thank you so much. Monsters are humans too. Did you notice that little girl who passed by you a minute ago? Yes, she was walking with that beautiful young lady in the bright orange dress. The little girl is about this high. She wore the blue and yellow jumpsuit holding pink, yellow, and green flowers. Did you notice her? Oh, you did not see her. Then you missed the sadness in her eye. Don't feel bad. This happens every day, where we come across children who suffer abuse and are sad because of the constant abuse they face. The constant abuse they suffer at the hands of families or friends. We don't notice these children because possibly we are busy going about our business, or we don't wish to be bothered by others, or we simply don't have a clue of what abused children looks like. Because we are told abused children are normally unkempt, not dressed properly, but some children are well dressed and are constantly abused. Imagine during the pandemic, childproduct.org said that 68% of the abuse the children met was carried out by a member of their family. This was a horrible time for the children. You are in, you can't go to school, you are there with your abuser and cannot get relief from that abuse. Those, I said, were terrible days. Now the opportunity is here for us to interact with those children, meet them, see them. When we are looking at children, don't just look at their face, but look at the expression. Children are a happy bunch. Why would a 4-year-old or a 5-year-old child be constantly sad? Again, childprotect.org said each year, over 40,000 children dies because of what? Abuse. Children are constantly being abused. And you would think it's the monster on the TV. No, it's the monster in their homes who are abusing them. And when I speak of abuse, I do not only mean sexual abuse. Sexual abuse is disgusting. However, children suffer emotional abuse, physical abuse. Only last week, here in my beautiful country, a man was sent to 39 months imprisonment for what? Stomping on a child. What's the age of that child? Every time I hear that, it pains my heart. Stomping on a 4-year-old child and ruptured her liver. What could a 4-year-old do to you that was so bad? You had to fight with that child, fight with a 4-year-old. Oh boy. And children go through worse than that because some of them even die. This stomping of that child brings to mind that certain things were happening in the home even before it got to that level. And this perpetrator got so emboldened, he could do that to the child. But somebody spoke up. And that's what we have to take the opportunity to do. Speak up when we see those things. Some children are constantly in long sleeve. If you were to look under their shirt, you would notice bruise all over their body. And this they receive at the hand of people who are supposed to be taking care of them. I call on every one of us here this evening or this morning, wherever you are, look out for the children in your neighborhood. It might be happening just there. And there used to be a little girl by me, and every time she used to be shh. Because when she was being sexually abused, that's what the perpetrator would tell her as a little child. And all she knew was shh, until that scoundrel was found out and sent to prison. I call on everyone here. This month, America has Child Awareness Month, and let us be aware of the children among us. Let us be aware of the hardship they suffer at the hands of their abusers and be mindful that that abuser, that monster, is not those monsters we see on television and think they are only this. These monsters remain in the homes of the children. Madam Toastmaster General Evaluator.
Thank you so much for that, Rosemary. Can we have 1 minute on the clock, Mr. Timer, and let us know when that minute is up, please?
But before we do that, there is a question and answer if anyone wants to ask me any questions.
Absolutely. I apologize. Yes.
I noticed that.
Would you give us 3 minutes on the clock for that?
Yeah.
Whatever part of that time that we need to ask questions, if there are any.
If there are any. Or we could, if there are any, they are not forthcoming, we could just put the questions in the chat and I will be answering. So you could continue, Madam General Evaluator.
So I have a question, Rosemary. If there is a need to report what you think might be child abuse, how do you go about doing that? Because I think that's part of the problem that people encounter. They don't really know where to go or who to talk to. So how would you go about reporting the abuse that you suspect is going on?
Well, if we here in Dominica, there are hotlines for us to call. And in America, there is that hotline where you call and you do not state your name for fear of being victimized or someone coming after you. There are hotlines. I do not have the American number, but there are hotlines in every country now for people to call to make sure that these things are stumped out. You just give the information and they follow up. The hotline, some of the numbers are international numbers. So when you call, whatever area you call from, follow-up will be made in that area. And here in Dominica, there is the Child Welfare Association where you can report to, and also the Women's Desk, you can report to them. There is a section in the police department where you report to a lady by the name of Linda. You could just call her and give her the information.
Thank you for that.
So Rosemary, so you could make a call and not have any evidence? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying you will not have evidence. Sometimes you just suspect something. Now you suspect something, you call and you give the information as to what you suspect. And the authorities will do their own investigation. If nothing is going on, all well and good for the child. But if something is going on, then it can be stopped. Because those perpetrators are very, very wicked and know how to cover their tracks. And they intimidate the children so that the children will not talk.
Are there any more questions? Do you have a final statement that you need to make, Rosemary?
I just want to call on all of us here to be aware of the children in our areas. Sometimes some children are just shy, but sometimes it is more than just being shy. It is because of what is happening to them at their home and they are afraid to speak. They are afraid of what will happen to them. I can remember some years ago, there was this gentleman abusing his stepdaughter. And because of the location they lived in the village, away from other people, he would tell that child, if she mentions what he's doing to her to anyone, he will kill them and no one will know that they are not around. And the only reason they found that out was because once she got pregnant, she was at school and the teachers found that was strange for that child to be pregnant. She would not leave the school compound. She would not go anywhere until the time came for her to go, or her parents picked her up. And they called the authorities. They did not know who, they did not know what. They just found that was not a wayward child. And in the end, it was her stepfather who had done that to her. And he was sent to prison.
Thank you so much for that. Mr. Timer, can we have 1 minute on the clock, please, for the evaluator?
One minute is up.
Thank you, Mr. Timer. So Rosemary, are you prepared to introduce the speech pathway for Raghu?
Yes, I am.
Okay, you have the floor.
Yeah, let me get the information. Thank you again, Madam General Evaluator Toastmaster. She epitomizes the saying, a Toastmaster wears many hats. Greetings, fellow Toastmasters and friends. Toastmaster Raghu will be presenting a speech entitled The 3 W's of Wealth from the Path Innovative Planning, Level 1, Evaluation and Feedback. The length of the speech will be 5 to 7 minutes, and the purpose of this project is for Toastmaster Raghu to practice applying feedback and serve as a speech evaluator during a club meeting. That's for later on. And the purpose of this speech is for him to present the speech and receive feedback. Toastmaster Raghu will deliver a well-organized speech on any topic. I will focus on his speaking style and recommend improvements which he will apply to his next speech. His speech may be humorous, informational, or any style he chooses. Toastmaster Raghu.
There's a popular Sanskrit saying, Sanskrit being the ancient language of India. Dhanam moolam idam jagat, means the money is the base for everything in the world today. Isn't it? Without money, we can't do anything. And guess what? As soon as we hit certain age, maybe 14 in America, maybe 20 in India, every country, the kids are pushed to move their ass and start earning the money. And we are so engaged in earning that we forget everything. And just life just goes on in some stage. At a certain stage, everything falls down and we spend this money to earn all that we lost. I have a question for everyone in the room today. What is the actual wealth as per you? Somebody want to answer? Sally, what do you think? What is the actual wealth as per you?
Are you asking me?
Yes.
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
What is the actual wealth as per you?
What is the actual wealth? I think joining with hearts with other people and their aspirations and reaches for their stars brings me a great deal of wealth and reward.
Wonderful. Thank
Thank
you. D. Mary, what do you think is actual wealth? The problem. Rosemary, what is the actual wealth as per you?
As for me, actual wealth is having good health and good interaction with others.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Sally, and thank you, Rosemary, and thank you, D. Mary, for not answering my question. But actual wealth, as per me, as Rosemary told, is health. Health is actual wealth. Without health, when we start losing it, we end up paying a lot, including money, including our lives, including our family, who have to spend so much time in the recovery stage. But guess what? I have three simple steps. Even if you have lost it, or even at a stage where you're losing it, or even if you're healthy today, 3 W's of the actual wealth that you can implement and gain gain the wealth of your life. First W is water. Yes, you heard it right. It's just water. You are drinking water in the wrong way all your life. Even I was shocked when I learned about it. You have to drink at least 3 to 4 liters of water every day. It helps in your bowel movements in your stomach and also helps you keep active throughout the day. Start your day with at least 1 liter of warm water when you wake up. And after that, try to keep yourself hydrated. This will help you a lot in the long process. Keep your skin healthy, keep your skin tight, and also keep you freshened up. There are lot many moments, but in the interest of time, I'm not going to cover it. And I did implement it. And guess what? It has helped me a lot to keep my health intact. Second W, second W of wealth is workout. As my favorite quote by John Martin Luther King Jr. is keep moving, whether you fly or run or walk or crawl, doesn't matter. You need to keep moving. Find an opportunity to keep moving. It doesn't matter whether you're walking, whether you're doing workouts, keep doing what you can throughout the day. Enjoy your moment. As a human being, you've been gifted to walk, to move, and celebrate that moment, every part of your life. And guess what? With that, you will regain a lot of health. With these workouts, you will be able to spend those calories, the intake, and keep yourself active throughout the day. You may have pains in the knees or any body pains in the beginning, but then once you keep your body intact with those movements, you will be able to enjoy and regain the health. The third W is watch out. Watch out what calories you're intaking. Watch out what you're eating when you're eating. Your body has to fast every day, at least for 12 hours. Follow intermittent fasting. Finish your dinner before sunset at least by 7 or 8 p.m. And then your next meal should start at 8 a.m. in the morning. Till then, what you're allowed is only water. This helps your body to digest everything that you ate and also help you to maintain healing because the body gets time to start healing. You don't need medicine to heal. Your body is itself a system that can heal itself. Watch out what you're eating outside. Avoid 3 W's: white flour, white sugar, and also third one is the white rice. When you start avoiding that and watch out the calories intake, and then you follow the intermittent fasting, you are there, my friend. 3 W's: water, walking, and watch out. With these 3 W's, you will be able to achieve your health. After a pandemic has hit, and then I was following a sedentary life, I was at a verge to break out. I had my diabetes and BP shoot out. But when I followed these 3 W's, I not only reversed my diabetes, not only overcome my BP problem. Today, I have a healthy lifestyle and lost 20 kilos. What about you? Are you going to sit like a couch potato on your sofa, or follow these 3 W's and regain your actual wealth? Toastmaster.
Woohoo!
Thank you so much for that, Ragun. That was wonderful. So, Mr. Timer, can we have 1 minute on the clock, please, and let us know when it's up?
One minute is up.
Thank you, Mr. Timer. So we have our fifth and final speaker. We had moved Lydia from the second speaking position, and her evaluator is Rosalind. So Rosalind, are you prepared to introduce Lydia?
Hi, fellow Toastmasters and most welcome guest. We have with us tonight Lydia. Lydia is working out of the speaker's manual, which is called Understanding Your Communication Style. The purpose of this project is for the speaker to learn about different communication styles and identify his or hers. It's to share the impact on his or her lifestyle. And she has a speech. You can help me out on the title of that. Just a second here. I will get it. Hold on. Take a deep breath, take it all in.
Rosalind,
Lydia is going to be speaking
is the
on
key.
communication is the key, 5 to 7 minutes. Communication leads to community. That is to understanding, to intimacy, and mutual valuing. That quote really means a lot to me because that is what I strive to establish when I communicate with those. My autism has helped me to learn about what my strengths and my weaknesses are in communication. My strengths are that I tend to be direct. I catch on to things very quickly, and so I don't usually need to have things repeated a lot. And I focus on solutions. However, some of the drawbacks can be that sometimes people don't understand exactly what it is that
I have to say or what I need. And that is one of the reasons why communication is such an important skill for me, especially to master, because it gives me the opportunity to be even more understood and valued, which is very important to me as a person. In both my personal life and also my work life, I have an opportunity to build a supportive and relaxing environment. This helps not only me to feel comfortable and at ease, but it also helps me to make the work environment better for the employees that I supervise, as well as at home, that I am able to express what I need from my family and those who support me. My main communication style is a supportive style. That is one that is more calm, supportive. It makes people feel comfortable. It gives people an opportunity to express their thoughts, their opinions, to feel, well, comfortable, so to speak. This main style is augmented by the direct style and the initiating style. And the thing that I found interesting is both that supportive style and the initiating style both value a supportive, relaxed environment. And I think that that describes me to a T, especially in the workplace. I've had the opportunity to work on a contract position, and it's the first one that I've done since finding out about my autism. And because I understand about how I relate to other people, I've had the opportunity to, when I interact with my fellow contractors, to say, what is it that we're doing? Can you show me? I don't understand. If you show me, then I can understand what it is that you're trying to communicate to me. And I have found that this makes all the difference, because it actually diffuses the situation. Instead of it seeming like I'm being disagreeable or volatile, it actually lets them know that I really am trying to understand what it is that they're saying. And when I'm trying to explain something to them, I will tell them, come, look at what I'm doing. See this is what I'm trying to do. And our project has not only remained on schedule, but we're working together and building a nice team and community. But communication is important in my personal life also, because, as I said, I like to be valued, and that intimacy comes from understanding. How do you understand someone? By being able to communicate thoughts, feelings, and to do that in a way that a person can understand what it is that you're trying to communicate. Communication to me has really become an area that I've found so very important in my life, especially as becoming a speaker. Because as a quote said, that it builds intimacy. Fellow Toastmasters, I'd like to leave you with this quote. It's by an unknown speaker, but it said, wise men speak because they have something to say. Fools speak because they have to say something. Let us be the ones that when we speak, it's because we have something to say and we want to be heard and understood and build community, not because we just simply have something to say. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so very much for that inspiring message, Lydia. Could we have 2 minutes on the clock so that we can get all of our evaluators in a position to do their evaluations? And let me know when that's up, please. And while he's doing that, I will give you my last suggestions for making your own luck. There is a saying or a caution that you are not to get too high on your successes, which means don't just rave and rant about a success. I mean, you definitely want to enjoy that success, but you're also not to beat yourself up over your failures. So that's a double-edged sword, because we're going to fail and we simply can pick ourselves up and continue to move. And then the last thing is have an accountability partner. And what that is have somebody who knows you, who understands how to help keep you accountable so that you will understand that your luck in large part is what you make it. Thank you.
Toastmaster, every meeting, you wanted 1 minute or 2 minutes?
2 minutes. They're at the process of finalizing everything.
Okay.
Thank you.
Two minutes is up.
Thank you for that, Mr. Timer. So what I'd like for you to do now, sir, is to demonstrate the timing involved with the colors for the evaluations. And after that, we will start with Isaac, and he will be doing his evaluation of Rosemary's speech. Mr. Timer.
As the timer for evaluations, the green card will be up at 2 minutes. The yellow card will be up at 2 minutes, 30 seconds. The red card will be up at 3 minutes, and you'll have 30 seconds to wrap things up. Back to you, Table Topics Master.
Our first evaluator is Isaac, and he will be doing an evaluation of Rosemary's speech. Isaac Ford.
Thank you, Madam DE Toastmaster. Rosemary Sweeney, I loved your speech. And I liked how you opened the speech with a question, asking, well, the title of your speech is Monsters Can Be Human Too. But you asked the question of, how do you know if someone is being abused? And I liked how you were very descriptive of when you named what to look for and to pay attention to children, because a lot of times no one would know that they're being abused, and it's hard to tell, but if you pay attention to them, you can usually find out what may be going on. And I liked how you explained the different types of abuse, which were sexual abuse, emotional abuse, and physical abuse. And a question that I had, and I don't know if it's something that you would want to put in your speech, but I wanted to know what got you interested in this subject, you know, maybe with a personal story, just to kind of give us more insight of why you are really passionate about this story. And well, not an and. So that would be something, because I think you know so much about this subject, and I liked how you were able to give a conclusion of telling people to call the hotlines to get more information, or if you thought someone was being abused. The suggestion that I would give would be to adjust your camera a little bit. Down low, it was like the camera didn't have you completely in the frame. So if you could just maybe turn your camera down a little bit, that would really kind of get you in the frame. And again, I just really appreciate this subject, because a lot of people don't really pay attention to it. And what you are talking about is very important, and a lot of people need to know about it. And one other thing I would ask you is really get the audience involved more. And you did that, but what I would suggest is when you ask the question, maybe really ask the question by, hey, raise your hand if you know of someone who's being abused, or if you know the signals to find out somebody's being abused. That way you kind of get the audience involved more into your speech. But overall, like, you're passionate about this subject, and you are very informative. You have a lot of information on it. So what I would say is just keep spreading the word and letting people become more enlightened as to what's going on with children abuse. Back to you, Madam GE and Toastmasters.
So we heard most of what you said, but at the very end, for some reason, it seemed like I couldn't hear. Maybe it's just me, I'm not sure. But I heard most of what you said, but at the very end, I lost the hearing. But thank you for your evaluation. And our next evaluator is Rosemary, and she will give an evaluation of Ragun's speech. Rosemary, you have the floor.
Thank you again, Toastmaster Demery. This evening, I had the pleasure of evaluating Toastmaster Ragu's presentation. And Toastmaster Ragu, thank you. I heard a well-organized, informational speech. And your introduction had me thinking that here is it, I have the opportunity to learn a new language, but at the end I forgot all the words you said, just that I remember it is about money does everything. And immediately I remember the saying, money answereth all things. But this evening I heard that there are 3 W's which can make you healthy and keep you wealthy, and it is not money. I also learned that if I follow your instruction, I may even save on money. I saw great hand gestures when you were explaining about the 3 W's. You had your hand clearly up, and I know the 3 fingers meant 3, and when the countdown was given, I also saw your fingers matching whatever was said. 1, 2, this was said. And the smile on your face was priceless. It was like you enjoyed delivering that speech. The interaction with the audience was amazing, where you involved the audience. And not only did I hear your side of what you thought, but that of the members of the audience. I got to know that you were ill and you took steps to correct your situation. What I would have loved even more would have been to see a photo of you when you were ill, a before picture and an after picture when you got better. Probably you could have shown me a sample of those 3 things which in your area, the whites, which are not good for me. However, overall, I enjoyed your presentation, the interaction with the audience, your body language, and the very relevant information given and that personal story. What I said, what I would have loved to see is a photo of you when you were not well, and after going through your changes, your now photo. Thank you for your presentation, and back to you, Toastmaster Mary.
Yes, I too learned something in terms of how much more water I have to be drinking, and I am not a water person, but yes, that was good information. Thank you so much for that. And we have our final evaluation that will be coming from Rosalind as she evaluates Lydia. You have the floor, Rosalind.
Oh, thank you so much. It's a pleasure and honor to evaluate Lydia. And Lydia is always so beautiful, and she looked absolutely pristine in that gorgeous white dress. It just made her stand out like a superstar. So I have some good comments, and I've got some that I'd like you to work on. Okay, so let me start off with the good. You started off with a beautiful quote from the very beginning. And what kind of startled me was your voice was kind of soft, and you're usually outspoken and very much, with it. And it seemed as though maybe it wasn't your best day or something like that, because I noticed that you had covered your eyes and you looked off towards the side. And one of the things I've always been told is when I give a speech, it's my stage, I honor it. And if I need it, take a moment and just put yourself in that place where you're completely, entirely present there. And I think that would help out a lot. I also noticed a part when you were talking with your hands and you were talking about strength and opening it up, and yet your hands were showing the contrast of the opinion of what you were going and trying to go ahead and say. You had a really good message that was talking about the communication styles. You defined it for everyone to see. You talked about how you were comparison, and that made it really good because when you're giving a speech, not everybody knows what the terminology is, and you want to bring them into what they're saying so they can all see. And you very well illustrated your own style. I really like the example of when you got to the job and you said, this is the way that I learned, and this is the way that you can help me to be my best. That would really, really help me out. And just as a final suggestion is, I'm also going to talk about the camera angle because people talk about me and my camera angle. So it seemed as though it was looking up at you. And so you want to get it on the level, just like I'm looking eye to eye. You want to be eye to eye, and it's a process. And I hope that you'll see all my comments and loving and caring, not as a nitpicker, just picking you apart, but I know you're a great speaker and you thrive on how we can make ourselves become a better speaker. So take the comments with love, adoration, and I know you're really going to the stars. Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so much for that, Rosalind. And now I will, well, first of all, let me just say that the speeches were phenomenal. This is not our typical meeting. This was a speech marathon. Okay, we had 5 speakers and they were all tremendous. They all came from different positions in terms of the message that they brought us, but all of it led back to a common theme: making your own luck. If you think about everything that everybody said, it applies to the fact that if you are the best at what they told us tonight, you will be generating and helping to make your own luck. So we're not worried about whether it's good luck or bad luck or whatever. We're simply trying to be the best that we can be. So let's start from there. And as the general evaluator / Toastmaster of the day, I will call on our timer to give us his timing report. Mr. Timer.
Thank you, General Evaluator, for calling on me to give my timer's report. I have a thorough timer report, and it begins like this. Alpana, first prepared speech, 6 minutes, 58 seconds. Isaac, he was the second prepared speech, 6 minutes, 56 seconds. Raghu, evaluator, 3 minutes, 11 seconds. Alex as an evaluator, 2 minutes, 20 seconds. We had our 5-minute break. Then Rosemary as a prepared speaker so time was 6 minutes and 25 seconds. Raghu as a prepared speaker was 7 minutes, 30 seconds. Lydia was 6 minutes and 58 seconds. Back to evaluations. Isaac, 3 minutes, 25 seconds. Rosemary as an evaluator was 2 minutes and 41 seconds. And Roslyn Khan was 2 minutes and 23 seconds. Yes, Roslyn. Back to you.
Thank you so
General
much for
Evaluator.
that wonderful timers report. Taze, that is a wonderful job that you've done. And as you noticed, I'm sure we did not have table topics tonight because we had the speech-a-thon. So we didn't have enough time to work all of that in. Our next report will come from our grammarian, Sally Reyes. Sally?
Thank you so much. What an interesting day. It was just filled with all kinds of wonderful thoughts and gifts verbally. Opportunity was our word of the day, and Alpina was twice, Rosemary once, DeMarie 6, Alex 3, Raju 2, Lydia 3, and that's the amount of time. And we had Alex 2 ums. We're really cleaning it up. It's beautiful. Thank you. And I just thought internal and external fears was an interesting topic to bring to the surface. Also, the children, the amount of abused children is a little bit overwhelming, how to combat it. But thank you for bringing all this wonderful information. These speeches were just terrific. Thank you so much.
I am speechless. We took the opportunity and just ran away with it tonight.
Yeah.
Had no ums, ahs, whatever. That is wonderful. So we are improving, and everybody needs to give themselves a pat on the shoulder. Thank you so very much for that. And now comes the general evaluators report. We did get started on time. All of the times that the timer gave, I wrote down, everybody was within the time frame for not going over, which was wonderful. We know that we had 5 phenomenal speeches, and we had 5 very sincere feedbacks for those speakers, because I think that each evaluator took time and care to do a very good job of evaluating each speech. I want to thank each of the speakers for taking on the responsibility of being the evaluators as well. And I certainly want to thank Rosalind for pitching in at the last moment to evaluate Lydia's speech. Overall, tonight we had a wonderful meeting. And I can't think of any stretch goals that I can give us, except that we can keep doing what we're doing. When the opportunity presents itself, we need to step up to the plate and do just that. And I feel like we really will. So at this moment, I am just elated to be able to turn this over to our founding president or founder of this organization. Cynthia Stott. Cynthia, VPE.
Great. Awesome job tonight. Wow. Teamwork makes the dream work. It was challenging, and we met the challenge, and we worked and collaborated together. So just kudos, hats off to you. Hats off to Rosalind for coming on at the last minute and saying, hey, do you guys need a role filled? And you filled it. That was fabulous, Rosalind. We're so glad that you came. Now, the VPE to the roles, Lydia, did you want to take the roles, or did you want me to?
I will take the roles.
Okay, great. Over to you, Lydia.
All right, so these are the roles for 2 weeks from today. So who would like to be speakers? We're going to go back to our regular 4 speakers, 2 before the break, 2 after. I'm trying to get my Triple Crown, so I will put myself down to do another speech in 2 weeks. Hopefully I won't have to spend 3 hours on the bus this time. It was like California traffic. It was crazy. Took us an hour to go.
Wow.
Through a few lights, so that's why I was a bit discombobulated today.
I will speak.
Okay, I don't need to be spotlighted. Okay,
I would like to speak as well.
okay, so I had DeMarie, and was that Rosalind I heard?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so DeMarie, Rosalind, me, and 1 more. Okay, so we'll leave that up. We'll try and we'll put that out on to the WhatsApp group and see if there's anyone else who wants to participate. All right, so then who would like to be TMOD? Okay. Sally, can I put you down as grammarian again?
Absolutely. I love it. Thank you.
And Isaac, can you unmute Nadine? She wants to speak and she can't unmute. Is there something that can be done on the Zoom host side?
I'm asking her to unmute, so hopefully she should be able to.
Maybe you can spotlight her, and that will ask her electronically to unmute, and then maybe she can unmute.
Okay, she has a video off, so I'm not able to spotlight her.
Oh, okay. Okay, then you'll have to put it in chat then, Nadine. We can see your chat, and we can see your mute button. For some reason, it's off. Okay, back to you, Lydia.
All right, so so speakers, are you also comfortable pulling double duty as evaluators? So we can fill those up. Yeah, okay. So I'll put us all down into the evaluators, our usual kind of rolling speaker evaluator technique. Are we going to have the general evaluator double duty as TMOD? Or should we try and get a separate general evaluator?
Which date is this for?
It's 2 weeks from today.
May
2 weeks from today. What's the date? I'm
May
sorry, I
1st.
don't.
It will be
May 1st.
May 1st. Actually, our general evaluator will be Taze.
okay.
Great. And we still need to find a TMOD, huh?
Yes, and then we need timer and we need tabletop X master.
Okay. Anybody else? Isaac, are you going to be here? Would you like to be TMOD or? And Nadine, I'm not sure if you're going to be here. Maybe you want to roll. And Rosemary.
Yeah, I could be the Toastmaster of the day.
Okay.
Great.
All right. We can put it out into the group, but if we don't get any other volunteers, I could maybe do table topics master or something, but we'll see.
So I don't know, did Ragoon leave? He put a message in the
Yeah,
chat and said, thank you for having me. So we didn't acknowledge him.
All right, so that's most of the roles. We'll work on getting those other filled over the next couple weeks. And we're also going to be putting the names into Easy Speak for people who do speakers. And you will have until that Wednesday, I will send out a message letting everyone know when your names have been added to Easy Speak so that you can go in and add your information. If for some reason you're having problems with adding your information, then feel free to send me an email or send me a message in WhatsApp. We're going to have institute a policy saying that if you do not have your information that is uploaded by 5 p.m. the Wednesday before our meeting, then your spot will become available for other speakers. So I'm just kind of letting everybody know that now. That way we can get our agenda out, and our speaker introductions actually did not go out today because everyone did not actually upload their introductions. So if we can do that, I know it says remove, but you can put your introduction in there and override it. If for some reason you cannot, again, let me know, send it to me. I'll put it in there for you. That's not a big deal. It takes a couple of seconds. Other than that, that's all I have. And back to you, Madam President.
Okay, great. And Nadine, I saw your chat that you can't unmute yourself. I don't know why. That's very strange. But go ahead and chat if you had something you wanted to say. And thank you so much, Lydia, for taking all the roles. I'm so excited about the new policy that the speakers have to put their information, their pathways information, their introduction, and their title the Wednesday before our meeting. That way we will be able to get the agenda out very quickly and easily. And teamwork makes the dream work. You know, we're all working together like we did today is fabulous. And that will make it easier for us when we have our TEDx event. So now for takeaways and chocolates, we don't have any guests left. Raghu left. Let's see, what does Nadine say? Anyway, Rosalind, your computer can be shifted just a little bit more to the right, so you are in the center of the screen. Okay, great feedback for you, Rosalind, in the chat. Okay, so what was your experience today? Dee Marie, do you want to share? What's your takeaway from the meeting?
So it is not professional nor appropriate to scream. Okay. But at one point I would have liked to have screamed. Okay. I did get past that because I wasn't sure where we were headed or how we were going to get there. And I had been WhatsApping Lydia and I knew she was trapped on the bus. I was like, oh my God. And I could see me trying to move her and get everybody else in place to do once you move one person out of the lineup, then you've got to move everybody else around to figure out what are you going to do. So, but it all worked itself out. It was just great. So it turned out to be phenomenal. I want to thank everyone for the teamwork. And it just means that you care about what happens to the club, because nothing says that you have to step up to the plate and take on a responsibility. But when you care about where we're headed as an organization and as a group, and that you want to work together and see us succeed, it means a lot. So thank you so much for that to everyone.
Awesome, awesome. And you did an amazing job with juggling all those balls in the air with finesse, with grace, and we were such a team.
So would you please throw me a huge
Yes, a huge
Instead
what?
instead of candy, I want a kiwi. Okay.
A kiwi.
Piece of fruit.
Oh,
Yeah.
have you ever had golden kiwis?
Yes, I have.
From New Zealand, they're my favorite.
I
Do you
don't know
want
where it
golden
came from, but I've had the golden ones. Yes.
from New
I would
Zealand?
like a
Yes.
kiwi. If you're gonna throw me that, I'll catch it.
Okay, here you go. Here's a whole bundle of kiwis coming your way. Woo!
Oh, thank you so much.
Great, great teamwork. I love it. I love it. I love it. And who else would like to share what their experience was, what they're taking away? How about you, Lydia? Or Isaac? Did you just unmute? Isaac is unmuted. All right, Isaac.
Well, I enjoyed the meeting. I really liked the speeches. They were very informative. And I thought the meeting ran really smooth because I know a lot of times there's always changes at the last minute. And Dee Marie, you handled it like a champ. And I thought that it was a fun meeting. I know I don't have the fun in my voice, but I do think it was a fun meeting. And I enjoyed as always. So that is it. And I know the last time I asked to send me I think I said a vegan dessert. And someone did recommend a vegan dessert, but it was nasty. So.
Oh. I
So-
recommend checking out Whole Foods. Whole Foods has excellent vegan desserts.
Okay.
So if
Like
he got a
chocolate cake,
nasty, if he
and
got a
they're
nasty
actually
vegan
tasty.
dessert that you threw to him, it had to be bad, okay?
Yeah, you are right, Dee Marie. You know me well because it's rare that I don't like something. So yeah, you're right. But I would suggest if they do it, a sugarless peach cobbler, if you could come up with that.
A sugarless peach cobbler, maybe made with what, like monk fruit or something? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, that might
like
work.
A monk fruit sweetener?
Yeah, that might work.
Okay. A monk fruit sweetener, peach
Why
cobbler.
are you messing up peach cobbler? Oh my God.
Au natural.
Yeah.
Here comes your peach cobbler. Woohoo! 1, 2, 3, woo!
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. And anyone else want to share? Did Lydia want to share?
I would like to.
I know
Sally.
Nadine.
Hello,
Go ahead.
Sally? Oh, okay. I just thought this was absolutely time-wise. It just had a beautiful vibration going from person to person, as smooth as I've probably ever seen it. And I'm so proud of all of you melding it all together in a really, really beautiful product that kind of knitted us all together in the best way. And thank you, even on when it's a difficult subject, which I think is very important for us to bring to light. I thought it was terrific. Thank you.
Great, great. And absolutely, we worked together well as a team.
I'll take the New Zealand seaweed. I love that.
Well, she actually had kiwi, Kiwi. It's a fruit. But if you want some New Zealand seaweed, I can send you that too.
That's what I want, New Zealand seaweed.
Seaweed, okay. You know, it all works out.
Flat all over, right?
There you go. 1, 2, 3, woo!
Thank you. I'm putting it in my dinner tonight. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. And Rosalind, would you like to share your takeaway?
Well, it's always exciting to hear so many amazing speakers. You know, I think this is the first time I heard Raghu, but it was a good change because always he was such a powerful speaker and he was just a guest.
Yes.
Wow.
A special guest.
Wow.
He has placed many of our speakers in his clubs. And so we wanted to gift him with an opportunity to speak at Leaders Worldwide and gift us with his message
Where's his club?
in India
Oh,
and Silicon Valley. He's all over the world.
wow. Maybe I can go speak in his club. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Cool. Just connect
You
me.
can contact him in the guest group, and I can also connect you directly if you like.
That makes it easier for me. I don't know how to find that guest.
Awesome. So send me a text because I will forget.
I think there's a joint meeting between his club and Blue Quest tomorrow night. I'm actually a guest evaluator there tomorrow. So
Sorry?
Wow.
Wow. You're making the rounds.
Oh, yes.
Terrific.
Her worldwide rounds again and again. Great. And what would you like for your treat?
Marzipan.
Marzipan. Anything with your marzipan, like chocolate?
No, just plain marzipan.
Just plain? Well, marzipan is not that plain. It's very rich and wonderful. So here you go. 1, 2, 3. Woo! Ha ha!
Good,
Delicious. How
Yeah.
about you, Lydia? Want to share your takeaways?
So I just want to say that I appreciate the adjustment with the bus. I just never know how long it's going to take, with traffic and things like that. So I really appreciate you, Dee Marie, being able to change things around in such short notice. And also just for, everybody in the club really working together to get the speeches and everything in there. We had almost 100%. That was awesome. And yeah, I really appreciate it. So it made everything just run so smoothly. So kudos to everyone.
I was absolutely amazed and really glad because on our TEDx event, Murphy's Law is going to take over and something's going to happen at the last minute and we're going to have to be flexible and able to fill in roles and participate. So we're practicing for that too. So thank you, Lydia, for giving us an opportunity to practice that. And thank you everyone for really participating and collaborating. It was really beautiful to watch. And Lydia, you do look gorgeous. I love that outfit on you and your hair is so beautiful. What would you like as a treat tonight?
The talk of peach cobbler got me thinking about apple cobbler.
Ooh, with whipped cream. Ooh,
Yes.
Homemade whipped
Caramel
cream on
pepper.
top coming up. Woohoo! 1, 2, 3. Woo!
Oh, it's got on my face.
Oh!
All over her face.
Ah. More fun to lick it off, right? Beautiful. And Elios, thank you for zooming in at the last minute here. I know we've had you as a guest many, many times. We would love to have you just introduce yourself and say hello, and we would love to give you a virtual treat. Oh, I guess you can't.
Buddy.
Oh, there you are.
There you
Hi.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
Okay, yes. Thank you, Cynthia. I'm from Indonesia, District 87. And so yeah, I'm by Toastmasters. I've been Toastmaster for 3 years. And during this journey, I have been keynote speaker, workshop speaker, educational speaker, finalist moderator also for podcasting, comedy, and soft skills. So yeah, thank you for letting me to speak. Back to you, Cynthia.
Great.
And where
Glad
is my
you're
gift?
here. And what kind of treat do you want?
I love candies.
What was
Sweets.
that?
Candies,
Sweets.
candies.
What kind of sweets? What kind of candy?
Chocolates.
Chocolate. My favorite. Absolutely. Here comes 1, 2, 3. Woo! great. And
Thank you.
Rosemary, you're welcome. Rosemary, what are you taking away with you tonight? Bye, Rosalind.
Bye. See you later.
What am I taking away? The smoothness with which our meeting ran. When I came in, it was like we were not sure what direction we were going to, but then it gave others the opportunity to step in, and it just flowed.
Absolutely. And I loved your speech tonight.
Thank
And
you.
especially in honor of Child Abuse Awareness Month. That was
Month,
really
yes.
great. Loved it. Loved it. And what treat would you like?
Oh, for now, I'll only take water. I'll follow Ragu.
Just water.
Just water.
Okay. Oh, here's a liter of water for you. Okay. Nice,
Yeah.
pure, clean, delicious water. 1, 2, 3. Woo! Great catch. It didn't splat all over your face. Wonderful. And Taze, our amazing timer. What are you taking away with you?
Great meeting. Happy to be here. I'm a little bit tired now, but I'm happy to be here. Being in Leaders Worldwide has turned my Toastmasters journey it has put it on steroids. So I am performing at a higher level because I have my responsibilities in my other club, and I have this club, and I have other responsibilities outside. So this is a good thing. It will force me to stretch. It will force me to grow, and it'll help me to become a better version of myself. Good job, Isaac. Good job, Rosemary. But Raghu is the one that stood out to me the most. Maybe because of the accent, maybe because he's new, maybe because, yeah, I think it's that. But he stood out for me, and he spoke about health. Health is wealth. We are leaders or future leaders, and we can't lead or do anything great if we are sick. So let's try to sleep every night. Let's try to get our vitamins. Let's try to go walking. I mean, if you're into KFC, pizza, cut it in half, we won't be able to last long at this advanced club if we are not fit. We are like athletes. So that's what I will say for tonight.
Wonderful. Speaker athletes. I love
correct.
it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, that said, what treat would you like? It's a virtual treat.
Right. Well, I've never had cobbler or these different types of cobblers. So I do know about apple pie, so I'll stick to the good old-fashioned American apple pie.
Apple pie, a la mode with some ice cream on top?
Never had it with ice cream on top. Didn't know that was possible, but so I could give it a try.
Yeah.
Apple pie and ice cream. That will get me fat, but no problem.
It's virtual.
It's virtual.
No calories, no sugar. And we call it a la mode. A la mode is with ice cream on top of pie. And it's a favorite way to have pie in America. I think that's a French phrase, a la mode, but sometimes we butcher the French and then we make it our own, but that's what we call it here in the US, pie a la mode. So here it comes, as authentic as baseball and apple pie, a la mode. Woohoo!
Thank you.
You're welcome. Cheers. And that's 8 o'clock. So it's time to go. Thank you so much for an amazing meeting full of teamwork, collaboration, and community. Bye-bye for now.